Hello, Young and Sane fam. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Young and Sane Podcast. Hmm. I'm happy to have you guys back once again. Welcome and welcome. We are coming to the end of April, and I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm just not. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. So, yeah, welcome back to the Young and Sane Podcast, your favorite place for all things healing, heart talks, and deep truths about being young and trying to stay sane. Today's episode is a lot. Oh my god. This one might step on your toes, but it will also hug your soul. And you know the title already, the inner child and the lover who is choosing your relationships. Yes, I asked what I asked. I said what I said. That's the title of today's podcast episode. Because here's the honest truth: a lot of us think we are choosing our partners from a place of clarity and maturity. And I know we dealt with trauma bonds, love. Last week, I talked about whether you're having a trauma bond or you have actually found love, right? And more often than not, we are not choosing our partners from a place of clarity and maturity. It's that inner child that is choosing our relationship and choosing our partners for us. And that's why we often have trauma bonds. Okay? So your inner child is most likely scared, wounded, is that little child inside of you that's making all these big decisions and hard decisions for you. And that child, they're not really looking for a partner. They are looking for a parent. They're looking for a parent. They're looking for a parent. So let's start from the top. Your inner child, what is it? What does it mean? I've said this before, so if you joined us from the very beginning, we've gone through the inner child series, inner child ones, and I explained what inner child is. Now, your inner child is not just a cute idea that you always hear from Instagram therapy, TikTok therapy, all kinds of online therapies now. It's not just a cute idea, but it's even more deeper than that. Your inner child is the emotional memory of your childhood experiences. It's the emotional memory of your unmet needs, your fears, your first ideas of what love and worth felt like. So if as a child you learned that love was earned, withheld, unsafe, or conditional, that belief doesn't disappear when you grow taller. It didn't disappear when you grew fatter. It didn't disappear when you grew bigger. It didn't disappear when you grew up. Become this fine guy, fine girl, fine lady. No, it stayed. And it stayed quietly. It stayed invisibly. And it became the compass for which you now choose your relationships. So let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you about a friend. We're going to call her Z. Z kept falling for emotionally unavailable people. Every time someone showed her affection, she would push them away. Now, through affection, right? She would push them away, she would run away, she would hide. But if someone ignored her or breadcrumb her, by breadcrumb, I'm going to explain this as we get into this podcast episode. Breadcrumb is giving you enough emotional attention and making you seek for more, like just enough that you need now, and I can gaslight you and ignore you and later come back again and give you. So that off and on situation. So if she experienced that person that would breadcrumb her, she will become very obsessed. So one day in therapy now, it's a whole lot of story between how she came out from that, acknowledging that and getting into therapy. But then one day in therapy, it hit her that she was reliving her childhood. So she found out in therapy this is her inner child that was living vicariously through her. So her dad was present, um, but he was emotionally unavailable, he was distant. So because she always sought for that thing that she wanted from her father, she grew up chasing his approval and calling it love, right? And calling what was happening between her and her dad love. So she grew up chasing his approval. When she grew up, her childhood memories, thought of that as love, the typical love that she was used to. And so when she grew up and started needing love, right, needing that thing that her father didn't give her, she would always not see it in people that showed her true affection. But because all that she knew was what her dad did, she always thought that, her nervous system always felt like this is love. For someone to, ignore me and give me just enough attention again and ignore me, for someone to be emotionally unavailable, it looks like more love, than what she didn't know. So this was Z's story. So her inner child was looking for someone who would finally give her what her daddy didn't. But it was not because she loved the person, but because her own healed wound was trying to rewrite the past. Unfortunately, she was still attracting and becoming obsessed with people that were like her dad, even though she was looking for what her dad did not give her. So this is what happens when your inner child is wounded and you are allowing your inner child to live your life for you, unconsciously, subconsciously. So let's get real. I want us to get into the signs that your inner child is choosing your partner for you, your lover for you. If you can relate to any of the things I'm going to begin to mention now, it might not be your adult self being in charge of your relationships now. Rather, it would be your inner child. Don't be scared. It's just to expose these things so that we can get better, okay? Number one, if you're attracted to fixer uppers. Now, this term is usually used in house building and reconstruction, where you get to maybe an abandoned building or a house that needs repair and a lot of renovation. So someone can just walk in and buy that house in that state. So a house that needs repair and renovation is called a fixer upper, right? It has potential for being renovated, so that again humans are like that. So in terms of a human, a fixer upper is someone who is damaged, who is unhealed, but he has a potential to be healed, to be repaired. Someone that is broken but has a potential to experience growth, right, and healing and become better. So if you're attracted to this kind of people who are broken, they can be healed, they can become better, but you are always attracted to broken people, always attracted to people that need healing, always attracted to them. And you always have this mindset that he has potential. Well, he has potential. You're always believing that your love, you are able to give them the kind of love that can heal them or change them, because you wanted to change your father. You wanted to heal your father as a child. So you're attracted to these kinds of people because you want to change them, just like the way you wanted to change your father. Then your inner child is choosing your lover. Number two kind of people that you may be settling for or become attracted to is you settle for crumbs just to feel chosen. Now, what are crumbs? I mentioned breadcrumbing earlier when I was talking about the story of Z. So what is crumbs? Crumbs is like breadcrumbing. It's when you give someone just enough attention or affection or communication that will keep the person interested, but you're never fully committing or moving the relationship forward. For instance, it's like you're dropping small crumbs of interest, a random text, a like, a compliment, but you're not offering anything real. You're not offering any consistent commitment. You're just stringing the person along emotionally, and then that person keeps hoping for more, but nothing solid ever comes. You're just giving the person enough attention to keep the person interested. You're not really investing your interest. Recently I watched this drama series by Bolaji Ogmola, Us, and there's this character that perfectly describes this breadcrumbing, Tariq and Tracy. So Tariq is a very abusive partner, and somehow Tracy ran away from him from Abuja and went to Lagos. She just wanted to change environment to avoid him, so she said, right, according to the drama. However, Tariq came back for her. Now, Tariq was always this guy that was breadcrumbing her, giving her just enough attention so that she would seek for more. And because she too, she's broken, unhealed, she always, fell for it. And then he comes to Lagos again and looks for her. And they continue what they had in Abuja, even though she said she broke up with him and had to change states so that she would avoid him. But now he comes to Lagos, and then she's going out to this guy again. Texting him to make him jealous, texting him about, now she was staying with the family, Olaolu and Prince. And Olaolu and Prince, they're two brothers from different fathers, a lot of story in between that. But then they're trying to get her attention. And so she loves the fact that two of them are trying to fight for her attention. And then she learned how to breadcrumb from Tariq. So she's giving Prince a lot of attention just to make him, I don't know exactly what she was trying to do, but I think the person who actually got that breadcrumb example very perfectly was Tariq. Tariq would always, text her. He came to the house. When he came to Lagos, he came to look for her there, and she was the one that texted him the address actually, because she always wanted his attention, but she did not want, but she wanted him. It was just a lot of things, a lot of crazy things that she wanted actually. So she had these two boys fighting for attention, so it gave her pleasure and joy. And then she wanted Tariq to be part of them, to make them three fighting for her attention. And so she would text Tariq that she was with Prince and Olaolu, anywhere she was with them, and then he would come and get her and begin to talk to her, and she would feel very important and feel very worthy. And it happened like that. And so Tariq would just give her enough attention that is necessary to show interest for the time being, but never really committed to the relationship. And then she'll always be asking questions. Do you love me? And he's not telling you that he loves you. He's not telling you that he does not love you. He's just there. Right? Just there. Calling her beautiful girl, showering her with a lot of gifts. And just enough attention, but not commitment as she wanted. And he would go out with other girls too and ignore her most times. Sometimes not pick her calls, not respond to her text. But then again, if he sees her with someone else, he would come to claim his territory. It was just a crazy something. So that was like an example of breadcrumbing that happened in that drama series. Tariq was breadcrumbing, Tracy was breadcrumbing, Prince and Olaolu. So just a crazy thing. So yeah, that's what happens when you breadcrumb. It's like you're afraid of abandonment. You choose to settle for breadcrumb, not you breadcrumbing now. So when you choose to settle for breadcrumb, the fact that you are afraid of abandonment more than you value your peace. So you are obsessed with that person, and you want the person to keep replicating the show of interest, but the person does not show any interest, and you do not have the courage to leave. It then means that your inner child is choosing your lover. You need to get out from that place if they are breadcrumbing. Not good. The third thing is you confuse anxiety with chemistry. Oh, a lot of us fall into this category. So you know how you see someone and your chest is beating, begin, 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 and you think it's chemistry. I felt this way, right? Some of my relationships, I'll just see the people that I'm in a relationship with, and my mind is beating, my mind is racing. Why am I scared? And I just thought it was chemistry. Oh my god, fire, fire, fire. But yeah, the roller coaster of anxiety feels romantic, but it's actually your nervous system in fight or flight mode, and you don't know. You have to sit that out. Another thing is you lose yourself in relationships. So you are a people pleaser and you always shift just to be loved. Any box that they want you to be in, oh my god, you're going to fall into the box and ask them to wrap you so that they can love you and carry you wheresoever they go. Any shape they want you to be, you're going to be in. Anything they want you to do, you're going to do it. Just because you don't want to lose the relationship. And so you lose your sense of self even. You don't know who you are again. Does this sound familiar? Then you need to leave. Then another thing is you may keep repeating the same painful patterns, just different faces, but the same emotional story. For this person, you are addicted to his breadcrumbing nature. For this other one, you have anxiety, but you're thinking it's chemistry. For this other one, you have to shift yourself and lose yourself in the relationship in order for you not to lose that person. Or you're attracted to this broken person, but you feel like he has potential. You are going to heal him. My sister, you need to get out. So ask yourself right now, is my current relationship feeding my unhealed self or my childhood wound? Ask yourself this honest question. Ask yourself, right? And ask yourself. You need to be very sincere about that. So what is your inner child actually looking for? Here's the plot twist about this inner child. Your inner child isn't evil, because all we have said is like we're ascribing evil things to this inner child because this inner child is looking for bad things. But no, your inner child is not evil. They are not the devil. They are not sabotaging you on purpose. Rather, they're trying to protect you. They just want safety. They want love. They want security. They want to be they want to be seen, want to feel seen and nurtured. But they often go about it in ways that attract what they know, not what they need. So they often become attracted to the familiar. Remember, it's your memories from the past, right, that are your inner child. So your memory is making you feel attracted or become attracted to what is familiar and not exactly what you need, as I explained with Z. So if love used to mean being useful, you chase people that you need to fix so that you feel useful. If love to you means silence or fear, you'll be tired of peace or you'll be confused by people's kindness. So if you meet someone that is kind, you'll be confused, like, are you sure this person really loves me? Why is he so kind to me? So if your memory knew love as that, your nervous system is going to be confused by kindness. Your nervous system is going to be tired of peace and call it boredom. Okay? That's why your adult self must show up to remind your inner child that we are safe now. We no longer need to choose love through our past memories, experiences, or wounds. We can choose love through wholeness now. So that's why you have to let your adult self lead in love. But before you even do that, you have to take back the wheel from your inner child. When you heal your inner child is now going to feel safe, seen, protected, secure, to be able to let your adult self take the wheel and lead yourself into love. So how do we transition from wounded choosing to wise choosing? The first thing you need to do is to reconnect with your inner child. You can do this by journaling. How do you leave the realms of choosing, wounded choosing? How do you transition from wounded choosing to wise choosing? The first thing you need to do is to reconnect with your inner child. And you can reconnect with your inner child by journaling, meditating, sit with your inner child, ask, what do you need from me right now? Sit with your inner child and ask it, what do you need from me right now? And do that during meditation or with journaling. Number 2 is to separate the past from the present. So the past happened. Your dad is not the people that you're going to be in relationships with now. So that partner that you're seeing in your front is not your father, not your dad. That silence that you're experiencing now is not rejection, as your memory has labeled it to be. That trigger that you're experiencing now, maybe feel like this is so boring, or there's no chaos, or there's no drama, is an invitation to heal. Okay, so you have to separate the past from the present, recognize your triggers, and tell yourself the truth. The third thing to do is that date from your healed self, not your hungry self. Meet people. Let it be your present version, your healed self, your adult version that is meeting people, not your unhealed self, not your hungry self. Don't meet people, don't get into relationships when you are starving, because you eat anything, even poison. So no, heal yourself first before you begin to get into relationships. Okay, and also relationships can heal you too. So there's an extent of healing that you will attain, and you cannot get into relationships. But if you're just starting out, let yourself get to a level before you now begin to get into relationships with people. Number 4 is choose partners who feel like peace and not adrenaline. Let anxiety not be chemistry again. So you have to get that difference. You have to get that difference. When your nervous system feels safe, is a green flag, not a red one. It's not boredom, it's peace. It's peace. Learn to be comfortable with peace, not anxiety chemistry. No, don't do that. Okay. The final thing to do, and what it will help you to process from number 1 to 4 that I just listed, just in case you don't know how to go about with any of the things I listed earlier, is to go to therapy or coaching, or even both, right? Try to go to therapy, subscribe for therapy, go for coaching, right? To unpack your patterns with a guide, with a coach, with a therapist. This is not a work that you need to do alone. You need support. So go to therapy, go to coaching. You can even do both, right? Therapy will help you untether yourself from the past and experience healing. Now, coaching will help you move forward on your healing journey to even become a more whole person. Yes, so coaching will help with your futuristic healing. Therapy will help you go back to the past to reconcile the things that your memories are suffering from, and your subconscious too. So yeah, you can do both to help you. And the Identity Institute is here for you. in case you want to subscribe to therapy or coaching, the Identity Institute offer these services. You can reach out to them on Instagram at the Identity Institute, D_Identity Institute, and D is THE, not D like D. So at the Identity Institute on Instagram, reach out to them, DMs, and get therapy and coaching or any of it. Or you can also reach out to me on Instagram at Tamarflourish, TAMARFLOURISH. Reach out to me in my DMs and I'll hook you up with the Identity Institute so that you can get therapy or coaching. Now, we're going to get into this week's journal prompts. You know that I won't let you out without giving you some journal prompts that will help you with your inner work, okay? So the first journal prompt that we're going to use is, what did I believe about love as a child? What did I believe about love as a child? What did I believe about love as a child? Number 2 journal prompt, what parts of me still seek validation through relationships? What parts of me still seek validation through relationships? Number 3 journal prompt is, in what ways do I abandon myself to feel loved? In what ways do I abandon myself to feel loved? And the 4th journal prompt is, what would it look like to choose love from my healed self? What would it look like to choose love from my healed self? I hope these journal prompts help you. And listen, you are not broken. Yes, you may be wounded, but you are not destroyed. You may have been damaged by inner child wounds, but you're not destroyed. You're just remembering who you were before life taught you to protect your heart with pain. So you deserve a love that honors all of you, especially the little one inside who never stops hoping. So next time you feel that magnetic pull, just pause and ask yourself, is this my inner child crying out, or my adult self choosing wisely? Is this my inner child crying out, or my adult self choosing wisely? Just pause and ask yourself those questions anytime you're faced with that magnetic pull, right? You are allowed to grow, so just grow. You're allowed to choose again, and most importantly, you're allowed to be loved without pain being the price. Okay, so you can be loved fully and wholly and lovingly. Okay, so if this episode spoke to you, share it with someone else. And don't just share it with someone else. You can reach out to us on Instagram at the Young and Sane Podcast. Okay, at the Young and Sane Podcast on Instagram. Share with someone else who's learning to love themselves from a healed place. And tag us, any of your posts or anything, tag us at the Young and Sane Podcast. Let's keep healing loud together. And hey, if you're on a journey of identity, healing, and finding your true self, check the show notes for resources and other things that we'll put in there, and how to work with me one-on-one. So until next time, stay young, stay sane, and stay honest with who's really running the show in your relationships. I hope you learned a lot. All right, drop a comment and enjoy yourself. Bye.